Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
Right now, people across the region are battling rising rivers as our fall flood fight wages on. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jordan Schreier. Our crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley is in Jamestown, where people are coming together to fill thousands of sandbags needed to save people's homes from the rising James River. She joins us live. Bailey, what's it like out there? We seem to be having some technical difficulties there with Bailey, but she is in Jamestown, as I said, as people are coming together to fill sandbags. I believe the city says that it needs roughly 65,000 sandbags, and they have about 50,000 sandbags on hand. And they would like more people to come out to that area. Maybe later we'll check in with her. Otherwise, we will have more on this flood fight on valleynewslive.com. Meanwhile, the city of Fargo is helping out its neighbors to the west, and the city has donated 40,000 sandbags to the city of Jamestown. Now, these sandbags were made during the spring flood fight and have been stored in the metro ever since. Luckily today, it seems like Mother Nature is cooperating with the drying out process. To see if that is going to continue for very long and what people are up against, let's check in with Storm Team meteorologist Lisa Green, and she has some crazy video that a viewer submitted.
Yeah, and this is from that same area. This is a view of hay bales, those big hay bales you see out in fields, the round ones just floating down the river as if they didn't weigh anything here. And this is on the James River. We got this video from Eric Schrader from the Adrian area, just down from Jamestown, so downstream from Jamestown, seeing these hay bales yesterday floating along. These weigh on average about 1,000 pounds, and they got picked up and swept away by floodwaters. And taking a look at just downstream from there, here's what happened to one of those bales. It got caught up on a bridge there. So these are, of course, some of the concerns we always have when there's flooding in the springtime. Not seen a hay bale floating down the river, though, before this video came in. And we do want to check in on the James River. Here's a look at where we are at and the forecast. This is downstream again from Jamestown, the river rising and forecast to make its way into a flood stage at the Lemoore area, currently at 1323 feet, and will be rising from there as those rivers continue to take on more water from snowmelt. Winds are out of the south, still strong right now. Temperatures warming up. We're at 57 in Fargo, and expect to have dry conditions today. You can see a good amount of sunshine right now. There is some rain to the west. We'll talk about what that means for us for tonight coming up in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you very much, Lisa. And as I mentioned earlier, our reporter Bailey Hurley is out in Jamestown, and I believe that we do have a signal to her now as she joins people in the community who are coming together to help fight that flood. Now, Bailey, what's it like out there?
Jordan, look behind me. We've got a pretty good turnout here at Sandbag Central in Jamestown right now. Everybody here is fighting towards that goal of 65,000 sandbags. And the city says right now, on top of yet what was produced yesterday and that gracious donation by the city of Fargo, they're sitting at about 50,000 sandbags right now. But the mayor tells me the only way that they're going to get to that goal is if they get more volunteers out here. He says he wants to see at least 100 more volunteers out here today, not only here filling those sandbags, but out in the community helping place them. I also talked with a woman who's out here today because she says the river is in her backyard and it's only about 10 feet away from seeping through her back door. So she says she's out here today to help and fight for those who are in the exact same situation as her. Now, Sandbag Central is open today, tomorrow, and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The mayor says that if you have any free time in the next 3 days, he urges you to come out and help fight this fall flood. Reporting live in Jamestown, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you very much, Bailey. And again, our team of meteorologists have been monitoring the river, and you can check those levels by going to valleynewslive.com. We have new information this afternoon on the body found along the Red River in Fargo. Authorities tell Valley News Live the body shows no obvious signs of trauma, but they can't rule out homicide as the cause of death. The body was spotted last night around 6:30 in about a foot of water near the Prairie St. John's property. That's close to Island Park. It was removed around 10 o'clock after firefighters pumped out water from that area where the body was found. Authorities are now working on a positive ID. A Minnesota mother is accused of neglecting her special needs adult child, who police say was found unresponsive and malnourished in the family's home. Beltrami County prosecutors are charging 47-year-old Carol Ganetta with criminal neglect. They say Bemidji police who responded to a call at that home found large amounts of trash and animal waste in the house. Doctors later found a bruising on every part of the victim's body. She told authorities that her mother hits her, makes her crawl to the bathroom, and denies her access to other family members. A Minnesota Department of Corrections officer is charged with criminal sexual conduct for allegedly having sexual relations with an inmate while taking her to another prison. Prosecutors say 53-year-old Randy Beeler admitted the woman performed sexual acts in exchange for food during a stop at McDonald's while he was driving her from Olmsted County to Hennepin County last month. Let's take a look now at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say Samuel LaFontaine Sr. is wanted for a probation violation on a possession of drug paraphernalia charge. His picture's up on your screen right now. Call your local law enforcement if you have any information about him. History has been made in space today. The first all-female spacewalk team is outside the orbiting space station for a repair job. You may recall that first all-female spacewalk was canceled earlier this year because NASA didn't have the right size spacesuits. Tom Costello reports on the women and the lifelong pursuit of space.
Again, there are two.
Orbiting 248 miles above the Earth, Jessica Meir and Christina Cook say today is almost like any other day. The space station needs a repair, and they're the ones to do it, period.
Jessica and I are held to the exact same training standards. We're treated the same in terms of assignments for various missions on board.
But they also admit this mission is special.
We called ourselves Space Sisters because we were together, really joined at the hip, going through all the classes together.
Jessica Meir first told us about her childhood dream 3 years ago at the NASA training pool in Houston.
Since I was 5 years old, yeah.
You've dreamed of being an astronaut since you were 5?
Yep, that's when I started saying it. So it literally is a dream come true. That's what makes it so difficult to believe sometimes.
Both women personify today's NASA. Meir has a PhD in marine biology. Cook has a master's degree in electrical engineering.
I have the battery.
Today's 6-hour mission: replace a power controller on the outside of the space station that failed over the weekend. The first all-female spacewalk, set for last March, was canceled when NASA didn't have enough medium spacesuits on the station. It does now, and it's just unveiled its next generation of spacesuit.
We need a spacesuit that can go from the 1% to the 99% in size.
Important since NASA wants a woman to be among the astronauts who return to the moon by 2024. In your dream world, do you think about what kind of a mission you would love?
Yeah, in the dream world, I think I'd like to go back to the moon. I think that would be, a great first step to getting to Mars eventually as well.
Today, a first step.
We could have never imagined that our childhood dream would come true and the two of us would be here together.
One of those astronauts is on track to set a record for the longest amount of time in space for a woman at 328 days. The longest single space flight by a NASA astronaut was 340 days, set by Scott Kelly.